Back in 2022, after Roe versus Wade was overturned, former President Joe Biden allowed veterans to get those health care services through the Department of Veteran Affairs. Now, the VA says they're rolling back that directive.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the Midas Touch Network. This episode is urgent, and I need your help. Midas Mighty, you can make a difference right now. The Trump regime has issued an 11th hour order to eliminate critical reproductive health care at the VA. Meanwhile, a right-wing bot army has been deployed to make it seem like there's broad public support for this, and the window for public comment required for policy changes like this is about to close. We have until September 3rd to register as many public comments as possible on this draconian policy change. You don't need to be a vet or a healthcare professional. If you care about women veterans and what is about to happen to them, we need you to visit the link in the notes, go online, and register your opposition to this new policy. Not surprisingly, one of the veterans driving this effort and the person who actually discovered the online bot army supporting this policy change is Kris Goldsmith. You know him as our resident Nazi hunter. He's an Army vet and an incredible researcher. I asked him to brief us here on what we need to know and what specifically we can do to fight back. Here's Kris. Kris, let's dispense with the regular intro. Let's jump right into it. Tell us what's going on.
So the Trump administration proposed a rule that would ban all people who need abortions at the VA from being able to get that care. And not just the care, but it would ban any VA doctors from even discussing whether or not an abortion could be medically necessary. This is something that will cost women veterans their lives. But I want people to recognize that I'm the guy who brings the bad news, but I'm not telling people just that things are going to be bad. I'm telling you, you can act now. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran, if you've got veterans in your families, if you're a doctor, like if you're any of those things, great. But if you are an American who cares about women veterans, veterans more broadly and women more broadly, you can take action now to leave a comment on the government website to state your opposition. Now, here's how this works. Any administration that wants to create a new rule, a new regulation, will propose it and open up a comment period. The Trump administration chose the month of August, when news and politics are historically slowest. It also happens to be the month that he's putting American troops on the streets of D.C., so that is saturating the news. This rule was proposed weeks ago. We have 1 week left to get our opposition in. Now, what is really messed up but not surprising is this Sunday, as I was performing my regular research into domestic extremism and how that affects veterans, I figured out that there is a spamming campaign that's being engaged in by Christian nationalist organizations that have resulted in, at last count, over 40% of all of the comments are identical, are from these extremists who believe that women who serve in uniform should not have a right to reproductive care. And what is most damning about how cruel this is, 1 in 3 women who serve in the military experience military sexual trauma. To strip away reproductive health care rights from these women is just heinous. It is just cruel. In addition to being dangerous, it is ethically and morally bankrupt. But again, if people act now, we can drown out all of these Christian nationalist spam comments with real, authentic Americans saying, no, we will not accept the Trump administration stripping women veterans of their rights.
Kris, you wrote about this in your last Substack piece. We're going to put the link down below. Incredibly compelling. And you include some sample comments, which I think can hopefully inspire people or even be a guide for some. But I would love your thoughts on why this is happening. Because as this commenter who you reference points out, there's no medical reason behind it. There's no logical reason behind it. It is ideology. It's Christian nationalism run amok in our government, and it's now infecting the VA. Hey, it's Ken Harbaugh. Quick break to say thank you to everyone who's been following and supporting this show and this channel. None of it happens without you. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my Substack page, I'd really appreciate the follow. It's a great way to make sure you never miss an episode. It's free to sign up. And if you're able to pitch in a few bucks, every dollar goes back into the show. Just search for The Ken Harbaugh Show on Substack or click the link below. Thanks. As important as the bot army is in creating this impression that this is what veterans want, which is absolutely not true, this is also top down. I mean, the VA is self-corrupting now, and the strain of Christian nationalism running through it should put a chill down the spine of every veteran who wants science-based care.
It is not a coincidence that this rule was proposed in the beginning of August and that the end of the comment period would end immediately after Labor Day. They know that Americans are trying to, despite all the chaos, relax and enjoy the last days of the summer. They did this intentionally. And while historically these like batch comments, these kind of spam comments, the regulators reading them are going to not weigh them as heavily as an authentic, real American who's writing with their personal experiences and beliefs. We can't trust the administration, the Trump administration, to adhere to those norms, because that's all they are. They are norms. So we need to collectively, as Americans, stand up for women veterans now and make it clear, because every comment is public record forever. And if it becomes necessary to fight this in the courts, a piece of evidence that can be used are the thousands of Americans who came together to stand for women veterans against a bot army from these MAGA sycophants who want to take away rights from our sisters in arms.
Okay, Kris, what's the call to action? What do we need the Midas Mighty to do? Where do they go? And what are we looking for?
So go to onoffense.substack.com. And my most recent article is about this. I'm going to be producing content about this all week to show people exactly where to go on the government website, how to make a comment, and to coach people on what makes a good comment. This is not the typical call to action where, some progressive organization is saying, go to my website and give me your email. You don't have to sign up for my Substack. Read the Substack. It will tell you where to go on the government website and make your comment. That is all the impact that we need. I know that I'm asking people to do a lot. Anytime that you ask someone to do more than one click through, you lose like 30%, which is why I want to make sure that the people watching this spread this. If you feel so compelled that you're going to leave a comment, please make sure that your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone that you know cares about women veterans, that they know this is happening and that they have until September 3rd to act. After that, it's too late.
That's right. And this is, we don't do this often on the Ken Harbaugh Show, but we are asking for your help, something concrete you can do right now to help women veterans. Without this care, lives will be lost, lives will be impacted. So thanks, Midas Mighty. We're counting on you.